Okay, we can start. Yes! Hi, everyone. So I'm Alfred Marasigan. I am wearing a nice bawang puti garlic filter from Fahad Mutlak from, I think he is a lens creator from Snapchat. I wasn't able to ask for permission, but it's public and it looks fun. So I hope that today we all get to somehow go through the Bawang Directory Digital Campfire. And thank you also everyone for waiting patiently and attending the campfire. So what's gonna happen today? Um, I'm going to speak a little bit more about like the background and the context of the Bawang directory, and then we'll talk about the Bawang directory Hoppla index, and the contributions that we've received throughout from the beginning of Simulasi number 1 to until today. And then hopefully we can just keep it casual. And I guess to start it off, maybe we can introduce ourselves with each other, because I don't know everyone yet in the call. And I think a big motivation for me to create this work is to, I think, to kind of experiment with exhibition formats, and to try to make it more interactive between the participants of an exhibition. Because I think usually I've observed in my years as an artist that somehow sometimes we enjoy the company of each other, but I think because we can't go out as much like before, like Zoom is the only place sometimes, or chats are some places where we can interact. And right now also there is another event ongoing with the housewarming party of Dika and Lydia. So hopefully you can, we can maybe go there after this. And maybe some of you also came from that event. But this is shorter. That one will like last for like 24 hours. But now we will just do this for like a short time, like an hour or so, or until everyone tunes out. So maybe, yeah, let's go around first. Like, what's your name and what's your favorite vegetable?
What favorite?
Favorite vegetable?
Oh, vegetables. I don't know.
Buncis.
Broccoli.
Yes, I love broccoli.
That's buncis in English.
What is it?
Buncis.
Maybe we can describe it.
It's like apa leaf? Buncis leaf apa ya leaf? Buncis, wait.
It is a beans, like a long beans.
It's like a long bean, but a little bit different from the long bean itself.
Like string beans.
Yeah.
Like long green.
Yeah.
Long and green, and but not very long. Wait, I'll just Google it, the English name.
Vegetable, because I think, I don't know, I actually even tried to Google if garlic is a vegetable because I wasn't sure, because sometimes you don't know. Like tomato is not a vegetable, it's a fruit.
Yeah, it's fruit.
Yeah.
This is in English is just beans or snaps.
Snaps. Snow peas.
Yeah, it's like a finger like this.
Yeah, just three,
green.
like three of the green peas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to Google like my favorite vegetable is not actually garlic, but my favorite vegetable is labu kuning.
Yeah.
Squash.
Pumpkin, no?
Yes. Yeah. But sometimes it's different in America. How about the others? What is your favorite vegetable? Broccoli, green beans, green peas.
A cauliflower.
Yes, love it. It's cauliflower rice is also good.
Yeah, it's a white broccoli.
Yeah, it sometimes it looks better actually.
But it tastes bland, you know.
Yeah, blonde broccoli. My God, I will steal that and make an artwork. Okay, I think mostly we'll just go through like a few images for the Bawang directory Hoppla index, and feel free to jump in at any point because I wouldn't want it to have like a fixed, like you can ask questions after, so just interject and then we'll talk about it. Yeah, and I would need your help also very much, especially in some of the Bahasa terms, I think, and I think that would be also that's also one of my motivations of developing the project, is because I feel like I wanted to see more of the similarities and differences with um, the Philippines and our Southeast Asian neighbors. So and I saw them in some of the featured posts. But yeah, so the Bawang directory like it actually started with the Artists for Digital Rights Network. So um we also had several artists that were invited here, and I was one of them. And it's like almost a month of it mostly works or like thinks about disinformation, and there are speakers who like educated us about how it happens on Facebook, and I think and in social media in general. Sorry. And I think that it kind of also tells us about, or like attempts to work with Filipino and Indonesian artists. And then we, at the end of the project, we produced this digital PDF where all the works are presented, and they kind of also deal with a lot of the digital medium, but mostly responding to disinformation or like fake news or propaganda or those kinds of things. So yeah, so follow them. Okay, so next. Oh. So I think the bound directory before the Hoppla index, just a sheet in um, the actual directory, is very much inspired by these images. So I think around the time that we were doing it in 2021, I don't actually forget. 2021, yeah. Um, last year, I think we are at the height of the pandemic. I mean, we're still in the pandemic, but I think much of it is reflecting on like alternative medicine and um, how it kind of parallels the desire to be cured. And I am not sure about Indonesia or like Japan or other countries, but in the Philippines, I think around that time people are very anxious about, are we gonna get a vaccine, or when is it gonna arrive, or what brand? And so a lot of those questions, a lot of uncertainty is happening. And I think for me it's very fascinating to see how the garlic or bawang puti emerged as one of the uh, speculated cures for it. So in the World Health Organization, there's actually like a page that tries, like a myth buster page that tries to say that, like, tries to clear up if different things are cures for COVID, because like garlic, as nutritious as garlic is, it's not a cure for COVID. So they had like a scientist say uh, talk about that. And then also I was inspired by garlic in politics in a way, but also so for some reason in our Congress or Senate, I think like a politician wore garlic just to say that because I think there's like a lot of superstition also in the Philippines, and I saw it also a lot in the submissions in the Hoppla index. And this politician is trying to say that like we should ward off evil using garlic around this government. So it's pretty dramatic around that time. But yeah, and I think the rest of the images here are also things that communicate or speak about superstition, but in the digital sense. Like, so when you see like conspiracy like theories or videos that that claim to capture like a mythological creature, like here in the Philippines. So a lot of sightings also around that time of they claim that they are like monsters emerged around this time, but the video is always blurry. And then uh, the Passion and the Revolution here is a book also that I think speaks about it's a text that speaks about millenarian or like millenarian movements, or like they kind of like mix um political belief with like semi-religious beliefs to inspire a revolution and resistance. And that kind of like also helped a lot in getting the Philippines independent and from, is it from Spain or from America? Yeah. So yeah, and then the last one is here. So that's why I kind of like ended up wanting to document a lot of the a lot of those instances of like superstition, magic, healing, horoscopes, amulets online, because I felt that it was an interesting pursuit given the context, not just of the pandemic, but also of the contemporary era. So here's the actual directory. So I think if you get lost in everything, this is basically the main work that we're developing and that we have collected. So during that time with Artists for Digital Rights, I was able to collect 300 entries, or like we mostly focus on Facebook. And then this is the Hoppla index is like another sheet in the Google Sheets. And that's what we developed during this during Simulasi #1. So it was interesting to like gather data about this, because I think people kind of do not always acknowledge like left field or like alternative medicine as something that that could be valid. I'm not saying that it's better than science, but I'm just saying that to archive them is to somehow acknowledge that people consume this kind of information even in the 21st century. So yeah, so they coexist with the digital era. So yeah, we'll look at them more later. Okay. Here, so this is what I wanted to do before that I wasn't able to do in the with Artists for Digital Rights, and also because like life. But then now with Hoppla, I think I had enough time to somehow analyze the 302 entries from before. And I was curious if it really, I mean, I actually just correlated it like a while ago that 27% of that 300 like links were created in 2020. So it kind of affirms a little bit of how a lot of these websites about alternative healing, magic, secret knowledge are mostly created in 2020. I'm not a statistician, but I just, in a way, it's just interesting for me to like look at it quote unquote objectively, or as data. So I'm not also sure if it's only if it's my method of gathering it, because how I tried to search for them is like I look for the recommended posts from the websites that I like, and then I put them in the directory. So maybe it's also an algorithm thing, because I mean, the older it is, the less that you get. But then 2021, I think, because I was doing this around August, so maybe it hasn't yet exhausted that. But yeah, it seems to be growing. But I think from 2018 to 2021, like there have been like a rise of those websites. Also, I'm a little bit limited to my own language, because I think in the Philippines we have like, I don't know, more than 2 dozens of like languages. So I think in Central Philippines and Southern Philippines, I wasn't able to look for websites that and include it in the directory, because I couldn't I couldn't read them. So I'm limited in that sense. As for the months, I was also curious. I mean, I would say that as an artist, I wasn't able to introduce myself properly, but I think in a way, as an artist, artist and researcher, as much as I'm interested in like magic and like digital anthropology, I'm also very interested in time, and I think that's why I also gravitated towards this interpretation of the data, is to look at like what time of the year do people feel making these websites or like selling magical like objects, and it seems fairly distributed. So all I mean, throughout the year, so it's not, there's no correlation. Basically, people make these like websites at all times of the year. So very small like differences. Maybe July in the middle of the year, people make them more. But yeah, so everything is equal. For this one, for this analysis, I think it's mostly like a Facebook thing. Number of followers versus the number of likers. So I don't know. I don't use Facebook that much anymore. But when I checked, sometimes, I mean, it's mostly correct. Like sometimes the people who like the page also follow the page. But when the number is not the same, sometimes there are more likers than followers. So yeah. And I think it also looks like most of the entries, like 300, like a lot of them are up to 20,000 followers. So pretty popular. And there is also like an outlier. So it's the same graph, but then it's like a little smaller. So they're all below the 500,000 mark. Yeah. But there's an outlier, which is like 3,500,000 followers. So it's called, so their page is called Rudy Baldwin. So Rudy Baldwin is a psychic reader and dream translator. So apparently a lot of people, I didn't know about her until I did this research. And yeah, I checked it out, and so many people follow her for her, even for like asking for numbers to put into like lottery. So yeah, very varied, very mixed. And then here, so we end up with the website that I was able to make with the help of the Hoppla team, and it's in 3 parts. So basically, just how I introduced it to you, and then the embedded directory itself, and then there's the Hoppla index, and then today is the digital campfire, which is where you are all now. So we'll archive this video later. Hopefully everyone is all right with being recorded. So yeah. Okay. So now here is the from the gathered submissions from Hoppla. I think we started like early January to until as late as yesterday, I think. we gathered around like 62 multimedia submissions. And if you check out the types of multimedia, some people submitted Facebook entries, uh, YouTube links, individual websites, Instagram, and then TikTok. So actually, the Tokopedia, which is like an e-commerce site, I think, because I think it has a similar like counterpart in the Philippines. It's called Shopee if you use it. But then, yeah, I saw that a lot of the submissions are from Tokopedia, and then that was interesting. And we'll look at all of them here. So in this part, maybe I can ask for audience participation about like what each could be, or if you relate to the objects in the images. But yeah, in the first I think no second featured post. So if you follow the featured post in the Instagram, each batch I was able to like gather all the submissions, and then this one stood out to me. And Mustika. So is it like an amulet, or is it something common?
Yeah, it's an amulet. Mustika.
Is it something common in Indonesia?
Yeah, it's common.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to see these types of like stones. And I actually learned that in the Philippines there are different names for different stones for different uses. So there's still that like taxonomy of like magical objects that I think is very fascinating to look at. And like, for example, this one is like the red centipede mustika, and then this one is like the white, because in the Philippines there are like terms that, like, I don't know how you feel about the word mustika, but in the Philippines we have like agimat is different from mutia. Yeah, so
it's the same. I mean, it's sometimes in Indonesia we call it ajimat.
Aha, okay. So a lot of similarities. But what's the difference between mustika and ajimat?
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, I'm the one who submit with Mustika.
Yes.
I have an interesting story on it. So there's a human who tried to hunt the snake demon to get like a gemstones on its forehead. And then it will be used for power and wealth. And the snake demon then will make a pact with the humans by giving like a material worldliness to humans. And in exchange, human will give the demon life energy to offering human sacrifices and even their lifespan. But the funny thing is that the sacred gems of the snake demon are sold in a marketplace. I don't know if it's fraud or not, but the fact that the image is already perceived by us is kind of astonishing.
Yeah, it's like it's very strange to see them sold, and like, especially just sold, because I think I grew up with a lot of, not a lot, but like some superstitions, but then to see them on a web page it's very interesting. You just listen, you just hear it from like older people, like your grandmother, and then they kind of like bring you to a healer if you have like a fish bone in your throat, and then someone will massage your throat and then it will go away. So it's very alternative, I think.
But it's for the black magic. And the statement that Ratu Pelet Gendam Asmara means that you use these stones to like trying to voodooing your lovers or people to engage in romantic way.
So it functions that way.
Yeah.
So, but this, because in the Philippines, it's like if it comes from a snake, it's not agimat, but it's mutia. So it's also like the terms are also pretty different. And also the different functions could be like for good things and bad things, lucky things, love things. So thanks so much for this. I like this one because it's like snake,
Yeah, you can make it by ring your finger.
Yeah, like the stones have, maybe it's because of nature, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one is interesting also, because I think aside from magical objects, I think in an archive there are also many things present, like especially books. So I also enjoyed these submissions, especially for the illustrations. Also, I was able to like Google translate some things, but it's not always described. So this one is like heaven's herbs. So maybe it's like erotic vegetables. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for erotic something.
So so it's like mostly for like
I think it's
sexual purposes.
yeah, for recipe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gayuma, or like hex. That was also
yeah, yeah.
interesting, because hex is also like magic, but
Yes.
also part of the like digital like organizations in art also. Your HEX Foundation.
Yeah. Yes.
So coincidence. And then this one, the hypnotism one, I really like the illustrations, because I feel like they're very familiar. Also, I see it in like bookstores, also like old bookstores, and also these like illustrations that are, I don't know, in your schools, do you also have this, like in some schools, like in textbooks? Actually, these are like common illustrations.
Yeah, in the 80s, 90s, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
vintage.
vintage.
Oh, I wasn't able to check the chat, but I was reading, but
Maldito conche tu madre, ya está mandando porno a la página, compadre. Está huevona. Puro otra vez, me lo mandé de género, pe huevón, te le hice la pantalla del callao, pavo de mierda. Lo metí la
what is it?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I
conche tu
sorry.
madre, ya está mandando porno a la página,
It
compadre.
sounds
Está
like
huevona. Puro otra vez, me lo mandé de género, pe huevón, te le hice la pantalla del callao, pavo de mierda. Lo metí la pinga, ya sabes, esa hueva de Carlitos.
it sounds like music from radio on a taxi. What's happening?
It's okay.
Hi. That's an interesting like interlude, I think. Very very the magical time in the
Yeah.
in the presentation, I think. Maybe very something also similar to that is this next one. Yeah, so this one is also books, more different types of books also.
Vaya cebolla retrasada mental.
I think it's something I will.
Sexo.
No. Yeah, maybe it's like a different sound, or someone joined probably, and then
I will.
yeah. But it's nice to have something unexpected.
Oh, my bag.
Oh my god. What's happened? Hopefully my account is still okay after this, or at least like
Okay, I will remove them.
yeah. We will save the chats so we can have a copy of the, because it's all, I mean, if everyone is reading the chats, you can also
Yeah, I
see
know. I read. It's spamming.
a lot of like the letter Nye. I don't know if it's
Yeah, I think it's a spam account.
yeah.
Uh.
I will check my
Yeah,
bank
it's
account.
internet.
I will check my bank accounts later if they're still okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then here are a lot of like the books that was submitted in, I think it was the last day, like the featured post. And then this one I also need a little like background on, because in the descriptions of Tokopedia, it's only the description of the book, like physically, like many pages, good conditions. But yeah, maybe you can share a little bit more about these books.
Uh,
Or like, have you seen, like, are they similar to things that you've seen before?
yes, yeah, actually it's quite common, but I never buy it. So it's what Sihir is magic, same. So
What is Sihir? Is it the
Sihir is
author?
magic.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so the second one, the black and white is ilmu. Maybe it's old pronunciation. So it's ilmu actually. It's like study, like for Yoga Sutra. Yeah, ilmu for Yoga Sutra, something like that. Or for the Yoga Sutra handbook, something.
Esoteric knowledge, ilmu itu ya.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kitab is like Bible for jampi-jampi apa ya? Mantra apa ya? Mantra, praying, something like that. Incantation. Ya, Anggra boleh loh ngomong.
It like something
spell.
Yeah.
Anggra boleh loh. Yeah, the other is Bible for like spells, book of spells for love or magics or something like that. Or for in the last one is for jinn. Jinn, magic and therapy. Genie, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and I think because I wasn't able to understand the language also, I think the design is also something very of note or like remarkable about the books also. They're very eye-catching, and I think it's like knowledge, esoteric knowledge like this keeps getting transmitted. So, but these look a little older, but some of the books that were submitted in the 4th featured post was a little bit newer, so we'll see some of that as well. So it's like good inspiration for like typography also, I think. And then here, yeah, so also a little similar, but then there's like something also in the like the inside of the book was also there. So this one, birth, like a birth.
Yeah, human birth study.
Yeah, so it feels like zodiac. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Japanese zodiac.
Yeah. We have a translator actually, but she don't want to have the audio.
You can type in this in the chat. We will read.
Yeah.
Java. But what is the Japanese zodiac? Is it how many? Is it like also animals or
Japanese zodiac? Anyone?
No, I can answer if I may talk.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, of course. This is not.
Hi, I'm Angra. So,
sorry.
Hi.
Alfred, Angra is the who transcript your discussion with Renan.
Yes, thank you so much, Agra. Yes, go for it. Let us know about the Japanese zodiac.
Yeah, because I happen to be a Japanese and a little bit just knowing about the primbon thing. So primbon is not unlike other zodiac that is very specific. It is divided into several parts. Like we have 12 zodiac based on animals, and then primal astrology, etc. But in Japanese, it's very, very. I think it's quite complicated because the date of your birth in Japanese calendar, it will be counted according to certain rules, and then there will be some kind of reading, like if you were born in Tuesday, and then what kind of Tuesday is that? Because in Javanese we have not only 7 days in a week, but also there are 5 days in a week that we call pasaran, uh, which is actually named after a day for the market for the people. So we have not only Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and etc., but we have also another kind of day, and then we will count it, and then there will be meaning according to each kind of day. For example, if you were born in Tuesday Pahing, then your nature will be blah blah blah, and then there will be counted according to your month, according to your days, according to the position of the sun, and then the year and etc. And then it will decide like which direction that you should go. And then if you go to certain directions, uh, to the east, to the north, to the south, or to the west, it will be dangerous for you. And then which kind of batara or wayang characters that will suit your character. And then also there is sajen or like what is that? Sarjan is like a service to deity that you should be given in certain days, especially the days of the birth. So it's quite complex zodiac system
Ah,
actually. And then usually people use this to decide the best day for your marriage, or other big crucial days. That's primbon. It's very complicated.
okay. So that's why they need a book, because
Yep.
a lot of
Yes.
knowledge is needed to read like a zodiac or this or primbon. Yeah. Has any of you like consulted primbon to decide on something? Or maybe anyone you know? Or is it more like,
My sister, my
okay.
family.
And then
I mean,
you go to a
until
person
now,
or
people still use it very much, especially in the village, or people who are still thick in the Japanese traditions. I think we still use it quite often to decide marriage, especially.
okay, okay. Maybe is that maybe some, because I remember someone submitted an app and it seems like something similar to this. But yeah, okay. So it's not very vague like the like Western zone. Well, is it Western? It's not even Western. Middle Eastern, I think. So this one is more like a chart of like dates and like a good time to decide on things.
Yeah.
Ah, I wonder what today is. Like what is today?
Today, I need to check. There is actually a website, primbon.com. You can check it there.
Woo! Maybe let's check. Wait, I will check. Primbon.com.
And then it is not based on the sun. You count it based on the moon. It's a lunar calendar. Because
Ah,
the Japanese people create a system calendar that is mixing between the sun calendar and the lunar calendar and the Islam calendar. So they make their own system, but it's based on the moon.
wow.
So the change of the day, it's not based on the sun rising, but moon rising.
Oh my God. I think I need one more year to look at this. It's so interesting because of the different calendars also.
Yes. Yes.
So what I'm trying to think. So the calendar we have now is lunar? Like the
Now is solar. It's
Solar.
based on the sun. We have
Okay,
the
yeah.
Masahi that we use.
Okay.
Gregorian.
Right. I see. So this is, so I would imagine a lot of that is in this book. But do people know it like off the top of their head, or do they need to go to an expert to like, or you could use the website and it's the same?
I think it goes all of those ways. I mean, like people know it on their own.
Yeah.
But people also go to the expert when they want to know good days, best days for marriage, and etc. Because the calculation system is quite complicated. But then if you just want to check like your date of birth in the Javanese calendar, you can check it on primbon.com. It's easy.
Ooh. I will do that, and I will report. I will report back. Okay, okay, it's good. Now we have like a new entry. Is it okay if we include primbon.com? Okay. Thanks so much, Angra. I learned a lot from that. Or I think I will process that. It's pretty complicated,
You're
I think.
welcome.
Yeah. All right. And then another book I think is so maybe that the other one is probably is centered on Primbon. And then this one seems a little newer. I don't actually know. Is it expensive? What is the conversion? Is it cheap or expensive? But yeah, so a lot of it is like what I realized kind of, at least in this research with Hoppla Index, is that I think uh organized religion also informs a little bit of these like alternative or esoteric knowledge. So I think because I'm not as knowledgeable in Islam, I feel that I need to know more about like the context. But I also see that a lot of the things I collected from the Philippines are very much influenced by Catholicism. So I see the parallels in this. Also, this submission from the fourth like featured post, I'm not sure. This one I'll need a little bit more help also. I'm not sure if the Tokopedia page is selling the picture frame and then or is it selling the entire thing? Because so the images of the people who I assume are like historic figures. So I tried to research one, and I think some of them are also like religious figures.
Yeah, it's religious figure in Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which they sell with the frame or not, but yeah, it's depends on the descriptions. But mostly they sell for the pictures. Yeah, but other than that, like our Padang restaurants, in mostly in Indonesia, they have the picture of Sheikh or Godit. Maybe you can. Gambar-gambar Sheikh di nasi Padang, boy. Yeah, that's for some fortune, something like that, or
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one I was
or maybe they connect with the apa namanya, keturunan apa ya? Keturunan.
Descendants.
The descendants of the right descendants from these pictures.
But
Like,
but it's accepted in Islam?
I don't know.
Yes,
Because,
it is accepted in here.
Yeah. There's many sideways, for one that accepted the pictures for the holy people or not. Yeah, because we don't in the Muslim actually, so we don't have the we don't have to praise like people images, something like that.
Okay. So this one was like I needed to look more into to like understand a little bit better. Although the drawing is like the illustration is nice. It's like outer glow. It has an outer glow.
Yeah, I think it's this template. I don't know where they come with these templates.
Yeah, so it was cool to see. My interpretation of it at first was like they're like stock photos, but actual. I mean, like they're actual people in stock photos, but but it's it's not specific. But this one is very specific, so pretty cool. Like ancient celebrities. And then these ones, the websites, these ones like they're very informative. Actually, I checked out some of them. Like the texting one, I didn't understand a bit, But the Surau Tuwo was very like a good compilation of like places or magical places, I think, or like Islamic research also and study.
Surau mosque ya? Bukan mosque ya, apa sih?
Yeah, much like mosque, but it's a small one.
Yeah, this small mosque. Yeah, Surau is like a small mosque for the Muslim for pray, and Tuo is in the Minang Padang language is old. So it's like I think in the brown one is from Minang in Sumatra. So Surau Tuo is like kind of old small mosque.
Yeah. So it's a good. They also have statistics on the side of the website.
So yeah, the title is like talk about the cultural study center for Islamic in Minangkabau in the 1920s.
Yeah, like the
century. Yeah,
it's a good like blog actually of like research and like knowledge about ideas. And then it kind of, I feel like it's a little similar to Hermet. I think this is more historical. Like Surau Tuwo is a little more historical. Like Hermetic Library, it's also good, but I think it's also very varied and mixed and miscellaneous. So thanks also for submitting that. Some of them are like articles like anti-aging leaves, and then this one is like different Android apps that are also magical. I wasn't able to go through this whole list, but I have other I looked at other things also. This one is also good, but also different things. So it's hard. It's a little hard to categorize. So it was that kind of like challenging as well.
Yeah.
And then the texting one was like I didn't know. I tried to read some of it, and then like when you text some, we'll see later. And then here I like this one so much, like the Beta UFO Indonesia, because I think they've been running since 1997, and it's nice to see like enthusiasts like researching about these things. So but the first page is kind of like trying to see if a photograph of a UFO is fake, and then using the filters of like 2000s. So I don't know if a filter will make it look more real. But then
X-Files.
Yeah, so it's interesting also. It makes it more very much local, I think. And I think one of my earliest like not earliest, but like one of my researches dealt with like a meteorite in Prambanan. So I think it was also something I got curious about, and I saw that apparently there was also a UFO there. So it's in a way back. Internet Archive also is in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, Wayback Machine.
And then this one, I'm not sure if it's like a pyramid scheme. So I don't. So I wasn't able to translate like the images, but it seems like
Mario Teguh is a motivator in Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like a speaker.
Speaker, and then he told about how cope with life, something like that.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like a wide range of like formats to look at actually. And then these ones are more fun because of the typography and also the dancing baby. And then
it's cool,
Yeah, it's like an ebook or something, and then
Google Play.
The tuyul is like the mustika. I think tuyul it's also tiyanak in the Philippines, like the baby monster. So when I Google translated it, it was like, oh my God, it also exists in the Philippines. So even the design and the choice. But this one is, I don't know, I don't understand like how to blast a woman with cigarette smoke. So it was confusing for me, but like kind of funny also. And then there are a lot of these. I like this one, turning leaves into money. So bold claim. And then how to attract a woman in the blink of an eye. So it was great to see these like resources also being created and like and also as an ebook. So I think I was also categorizing the submissions for by format as well. Oh, and then this one is also nice. This is after the last featured post. Maybe let's watch a little bit of it, and then maybe you can you can enlighten me.
Sinda Tensei.
Yeah, so I think it's like a challenge, but also something about gaming culture. I don't know, or like some anime characters. So again, more intersections of like. Are you familiar with? Is this in your For You page in TikTok?
Your face. I don't know. I don't have TikTok.
Yeah. I don't have TikTok either. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's a
like
challenge for the apa kodam apa ya?
Kodam is can I?
Yeah, of
yes,
course, of
yes.
course, of
Familiar with
course.
it.
This is not one way.
Guardian
So
spirit.
Guardian
yeah,
spirit.
yeah, that's right. Guardian spirit. So according to Islamic belief, each of us we have one guardian spirit that will go with us all the time during our life. So that those people are actually referring to that guardian spirit, but they use like kind of Pokemon style game.
My guardian spirit is this game character. Oh my
Yeah.
god. And I think also the funny thing about it is even if I didn't understand the language, I kind of laughed for some reason. So I think the intention is like the intention is carried out. So yeah. It's like just putting random guardians and having them. And then this last one, I think. Thanks for that, Angra. And then and then this last one. I think it's like a last submission, I think. And it's also the last slide of our digital campfire. Maybe let's listen to it also. I kind of translated the lyrics a bit and it's kind of nice. Yes. Is it a popular song?
Yeah, I have the English translation. They have English translation. Yeah, Nasi Daria is actually in the 70s, and they go in 80s and 90s. All women like Kasidah is like that kind of song music, and then I think they quite popular in Indonesia, and then have a visionary actually visionary. Yeah, they sometimes talk about the bomb.
I saw the lyrics. I translated the lyrics, and someone said in the YouTube video, like, everything that she said happened already.
Yeah, in this specific music, they talk about the year 2000, about the machine take over the human and make the pollution and something like that.
Climate change.
Climate change.
Yeah, so I think learning a little bit, and thank you also for the Wikipedia pages also. I think the entire thing, like the entire this actually this YouTube video kind of sums up a little bit of um how what I learned from the Hoppla index, and I think that it really takes time to go through this data and dive deeper into all the stories and all the contexts and all the knowledges that these links and artifacts have to offer. And it's so nice because because tahun is tahun year.
Yeah.
So in the Philippines also taon. So
okay.
So it's kind of like, this is my jam. So it's nice because it's also like something that predicts something. So it kind of retains that magical quality to it. So yeah, I think that's mostly it. Thank you so much for everyone who contributed to the BAOANG directory Hoppla index. And I think you can still go through this recording, or you can go through the Simulasi page for the BAOANG directory to check out the 361 pages of Facebook pages and different multimedia, and to get into a rabbit hole of objects, and maybe buy something also, because I think because I really got into this because I was trying to think if I can create an artwork out of a meteorite, and then I tried to check if it's on Shopee, or which is the Tokopedia here, I guess. So yeah, so it's been fun working on the Hoppla index, and I'm very happy for everyone who also attended tonight. My God, it's so for a change, it's good to have the same time zone with the people in Zoom, and also in art. So I hope and I wish also that the rest of the exhibition will go well, and that you also enjoyed putting it together as much as I did. So good luck to all of you, and yeah, let's keep in touch. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Alfred. We will publish this video.
Yes, I will stop recording.